A federal judge in Maryland has ruled healthcare providers can temporarily mail mifepristone, the so-called abortion pill, to patients during the coronavirus pandemic. The decision challenges long-standing Food and Drug Administration restrictions on the abortion pill that require patients to pick up the pill in person from a healthcare provider.
This is a very important step in making healthcare accessible during the pandemic.
In his decision, the judge noted requiring patients to visit a healthcare facility during the pandemic imposes a substantial obstacle in the path of women seeking an abortion. The decision comes in response to a lawsuit filed in May by the American Civil Liberties Union on behalf of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and other groups.
Together, the nation's healthcare providers were asking this court for relief from this completely unjustified and dangerous restriction during the pandemic.
Mifepristone, which goes by the brand name Mifeprex, is taken to induce a medication abortion within 10 weeks of pregnancy, which is an alternative to a surgical abortion. For nearly 20 years, the Food and Drug Administration has made Mifeprex one of the most restricted drugs in the U.S., preventing it from being available at a pharmacy with a prescription, making access for some extremely difficult.
For the predominantly low-income patients who utilize abortion care, it means buses or subways. It means a ride share. It means maybe borrowing a car or asking a neighbor for a ride, all of which poses exposure risks during this pandemic.
The FDA has always justified its restrictions based on concerns for the safety of the pill. But a Newsy investigation found the FDA's own data shows the pill to be safer than penicillin and that the complications from medication abortions are rare. The ruling only applies to patients who have already received medical evaluations and have been prescribed the abortion pill.
There are some states that go above and beyond what the FDA required and still impose various kinds of in-person requirements for medication abortion care. Those state laws will still remain in effect.
According to the Guttmacher Institute, 18 states have laws requiring physicians to be physically present in the same room to administer the abortion pill, including in Missouri.
So Missouri has a law that bans telemedicine use for abortion. It has a law that requires us to be in person for the consenting process. It requires us to be in person to deliver that medication. So you're right. Although it is a win for some folks and for some states, there are certainly states and areas where the needle hasn't moved at all as a result of this decision.
Newsy reached out to the FDA for their response to the ruling. However, the agency did not respond in time for this report. Some opponents of medication abortion have expressed concerns about the ruling.
A judge without scientific or medical training should not be making decisions and tossing out the FDA's considered judgment about the dangerousness of Mifeprex abortions. There have to be some restrictions on how the drug is used.
The preliminary injunction is in effect until the lawsuit is closed or until the Trump administration removes the national emergency declaration. Angela Hill, Newsy, Washington.